Washington Commanders live stream. And in today's live stream, I know it's a little bit weird right now. First of all, can you guys hear me? Comment down below in the comment section if you guys can hear me. Um, so look, yeah, I'm in a little bit of a predicament right now. So I did schedule the stream earlier in the week for tonight in the normal setup, but I didn't realize like I was going to the gym around the same time, so I was just like, why not do both? Why not go to the gym and talk some Commanders football with y'all boys, man? So first of all, can someone comment and let me know? Can y'all hear me? Is the sound good? Is the sound good? Let me see. I don't know. Can y'all hear me? Can someone comment and let me know? 'Cause I don't think the comments are showing up here. Says one, if we got the one that form done. Yeah, I can hear you. Is it good? Alright. So look, again, I'm in the gym right now, so I'm gonna work out and talk to y'all at the same time. So look, y'all boys, man, the Washington Commanders is 1-3 on the season, right? And we cannot afford to go to 1-4. We know that. This is a must-win game. Everything is low. Hold on, give me a second. Let me switch to. Let me see if I can switch to my AirPods. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Am I much louder now? Am I much louder now? Am I much louder now? Shout out to everyone in here. Brandon, Brian, what's going on? How you doing? Donald Jenkins, Cowboys fan, what's up, my man? How you doing? Um, is it good? Is it louder now? Is it much louder now? Z React. Is it much louder now? But yes, the Washington Commanders. This is a must-win game. Again, I already made my video. Let me start the channel here while I talk to you guys. I already basically told you guys how I feel. Me personally, man, at the current juncture, I feel like the season's over. From the simple fact that Washington and they couldn't ill afford to get out to the slow start that they are getting out to, especially with how easy the schedule was put together for us. And we couldn't afford to do that, and we did. And the reason, again, another reason why I believe the season is over, for the simple fact, like, we're not going to be bad enough to get a top pick because Ron Rivera led teams are never top three, top five draft picks, right? But we're not going to be good enough to turn this season around, in my opinion, at least right now, how I'm looking at it from October 5th. We're not going to be good enough to turn this thing around to make the playoffs. So I think we're going to have another 7-9 or 7-10, 8-9 season again, and then we're going to be stuck in mediocrity all over again. That's how I personally look at it, and that's why I think the season's over because they're gonna get right at some point, right? They're gonna start winning games. They're gonna go on a little streak, and then they're gonna buy us back in. We're gonna start rooting harder, and even though we root every single week, we're gonna root every single week. But they're gonna start buying us back in. We're gonna start talking about, oh, Washington can sneak into the playoffs, and as soon as we do that, they're gonna let us down again, and then we're gonna finish the season 7-10, 8-9. That's how I personally feel like, and I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I hope we actually turn this thing around and actually make the playoffs and do something. But that's just how I feel at this current moment. There's no Washington fan that feels like we're going to turn this thing around completely and just start dominating. I can't see that with how this coaching staff is with Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio, Scott Turner, especially how he's play calling. I just don't see it right now. Horse says if we can win this game, we have a chance. If we lose 1-4, it's over. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I personally, and I'll talk more about this later in the week when we do the preview video. I think we're gonna beat the Titans. I don't think the Titans are that good. All they have is Derrick Henry. Robert Woods isn't really a number one. Treylon Burks is already hurt, and he's not gonna be playing. And they're down here with Landry, one of their best pass rushers. Now, they do have some good solid pieces on that defense, and Jeffrey Simmons, and what's my guy's name, Kevin Byard, on the back end and Caleb Farley, but who knows if Caleb Farley's been playing. But I think we're going to beat the Titans, but still, I'm just not confident in this team as of right now as we sit here today. Um, Recapping today's practice, and before we talk about how we can flip this thing around, Ryan Robinson was back at practice today. That was a positive thing to see. As far as his status for this week, if I'm wrong, Rivera, considering the fact that we have a week 6 game versus the Bears coming up on Thursday Night Football, I personally wouldn't play Brian Robinson this Sunday. I would play him Thursday night. And he looks good. He does. But to me, he has like a little bit of a limp, you know, and he looks gimpy. But as far as running, he looks fine. But to be safe and to be healthier, I would just play on week 6 versus the Bears. Because look, if you play him Sunday, after you give him, he's going to be on a pitch count regardless of the fact. So let's say he gets 8 to 10 carries on Sunday, and then he's a little sore leading into that Bears game. Okay, that's not really good. Instead of you holding him out for a couple more days, and he gets even more healthy, even more time to rest, and even more time to practice to get his conditioning back up. That's what you should do. But I, well, I'm not the coach. I don't make them. I don't make the moves. So we'll see what he does. But that's what I would do. He says y'all will be 3-3 after the next two weeks. Yeah, I think we're gonna beat Tennessee. I think we're gonna beat Chicago, and we do play Green Bay really, really good at home. So I wouldn't be surprised if we was to win that game. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This team is going to do well enough to get us to buy back in. We're gonna start winning games, and then right when they start to get us to believe again, they're gonna start losing yet again. That's just how I feel about Ron Rivera and this coaching staff. I'm not confident in this coaching staff that he's going to just take over and we're going to go on like a 10-game, 11-game win streak. I just don't see it right now. And I understand a lot of people want to say, "Oh, back in his time in Carolina, he started off in his third season 1-3, and then he went on to win 12. He went off to finish 12-4. Look, the difference from Carolina and our team, he had Cam Newton. One, he had a young Cam Newton who was one of the best young quarterbacks in football, and he had us really, really good defense led by Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, and all those boys. We don't have that. Our defense has been playing well over the past couple of weeks. Don't get me wrong, but we don't have that defense. We don't have that defense, nor do we have a Cam Newton. So that's the biggest difference there. And I don't see it right now. So we just need better play calling. Like in week 1, yeah, we need all of it. We need better play calling. We need better execution. We need better personnel. For an example, offensive line's horrible. Get Trey Turner out of there, and that's what they did. They're going to put Sidney Charles in there. Sam Cosmi, he's hurt. He got hand surgery today, so he's more likely than not going to be out this week too, which could be a positive thing. Because then we can see Cornelius Lucas because Sam Cosmi hasn't been good either this year. So we can see Sam Cosmi. I'm at the point to where I probably even want to see Chris Paul get in there. He's a tackle slash guard too. So I'm at a point where I don't even know if I want to see Andrew Norwell. Wes Schweitzer, he's out. He's on IR with a concussion, so he's out. I want to see different combinations because right now what we're putting out there in front of Carson Wentz is not getting it done. It's not getting it done. What's going on, Big Simple? How you doing? Doug family, what's going on? Says if we want to win, we have to play like the 4-game win streak and win tough and play defense and run the ball. That's what it's looking like it's going to be. And that's really a bummer for me because I was expecting this team to be a heavy team, a heavy airlifting team, a team that was going to live and die by the air, throwing it through the air. I thought this team was going to be capable enough to put up 30 points a game with Carson Wentz at the helm, and it looks like that's not the case. One, because Carson Wentz is playing scared and nervous even before he steps out on the field. The offensive line can't protect him. The play calling isn't good, and it looks like the coaching staff doesn't even believe in him. The coaching staff doesn't even believe in him anymore, and we're only 5 weeks in. So I'm really at the point though where I'm like I did say in today's video. I'm starting to call on Ron Rivera's hot seat. If Washington goes on to lose this game, the season is literally done. I personally saying it's done now for the simple fact that I don't see them completely turning this thing around to a playoff team. But we're gonna have a this schedule is too easy for us to just go 3-14 and 4-13. Schedule's too easy. So I do think at some point we're gonna turn it around. We're gonna go on a win streak. But is it gonna be enough to get us a wild card spot? Because I don't see us fighting for the division anymore. We're already 0-2 in the division. Philly is 4-0, Dallas 3-1, New York's 3-1, and we're 0-2 in the division. At worst, in the division, you have to go what? 4-2, 3-3, maybe, to win the division. So that's already probably out the window. So are we going to turn this thing around enough for us to get a wild card spot in the NFC? And that could very well be true and possible because when you look at the NFC, who are the biggest threats for that wild card spot? Maybe teams like New Orleans, teams maybe like because look, based off of now, let's look at the division leaders, okay? And NFC. Philadelphia would be the 1 seed. Would the 2 seed be what? Would it be Green Bay? And then the 3 seed would probably be what? Tampa. I'm trying to think. And then who's in the West right now? The West is tied. I think the 49ers are at the top of this, but the 49ers would be that the 4th seed. So it'll be Philly 1, Green Bay 2, Tampa 3, and 49ers 4. And the 5 seed would probably be let's say somebody from the West. But more of the story is only way Washington could possibly, and I know it's still early, but I'm counting the division out right now. I think the only way Washington get back in this thing and make the playoffs is if we get a wild card spot. And that's not too hard to get right now. Like, that's not out of the realm of possibility, but I don't know if I trust this coaching staff to turn it around to the point where they're going to be able to be in a spot where they get a wild card. A team can make it the 8-9 record this year, I believe. I'm trying to think. I wouldn't be surprised if the 7th seed is 8-9. But look at how many 8-9 teams there could possibly be. It could be us. It could be Detroit. Because look, Detroit is 1-3. However, they're putting up the most points in the NFL. And if Detroit finish the season 8-9 and we're 8-9, they obviously got the tiebreaker over us because they beat us. So look, yes, a team could possibly make it. You know what I'm saying? 8-9. At the end of the season, but we can. But look how many other NFC teams can be 8-9. Seattle could be 8-9 at the end of the year. So I wouldn't bang my head on us making it by getting to 8-9. And even if we do make it into the playoffs 8-9, to me that's still underwhelming. To me, that's still not making progress. Yeah, in the moment we're gonna be happy that Washington possibly made it to the playoffs, but in the long run, that's not making no progress. You're still right there. You're still mediocre. Scott predictable turn. Scott Turner is the worst offensive coordinator I have seen. For this thing. I was going to make a video on this, and I might still do this week, but I guarantee you guys, if Jay Gruden had this much talent on his roster during his tenure in Washington, with Carson Wentz at quarterback, with the offensive line tables, we would still be putting up 25, 30 points a game. Jay Gruden would know what to do with his offense. And I'm not defending Jay. Jay was not a good head coach. But as far as the offensive coordinator, he was way better than Scott Turner. So, Scott Turner's horrible, man. He lacks situational awareness. He doesn't know what he's doing, man. And I'm so over Scott Turner. I really am. I really want a new offensive coordinator, like at this very second. You know what I'm saying? If we were to fire Ron Rivera, I need me an offensive-minded coach. Eric Bieniemy, he's a guy that everyone wants to talk about as far as, you know, offensive minded head coaches. But I don't know why he doesn't have a job. There's a reason why he doesn't have a job. Because look, he's been in the head coaching discussion for like 3 to 4 years, and yet he's still someone's head coach. So obviously, there's a reason why Eric Bieniemy isn't on someone's head coaching staff. You look at guys like Byron Leftwich, got those guys out there that could possibly be a head coach in the near future. No, maybe I'm trying to think. Maybe let's see, who are some of the other better offensive minded head coaches right now? Offensive coordinators. Um, let's see. I'm trying to see some guys that have some type of track record. Hmm. Drop some names in the comment section. Scott Turner's track record. Scott Turner's horrible. We could change. We could charge. We could charge. We could change bills. Did we probably too? The team can make it with 8-9 record, I believe. I don't know if we get to 8-9. I honestly, Washington getting to 8-9 really, again, would be a disappointment more than us going 3-14, because you're back in the same predicament that you were in with your first 2 years. You weren't good enough to make the playoffs, but you went all accidentally hit the emergency stop. Man, now I gotta start over. Wow, that's crazy. But look, you're 8-9. That's not. You're 8-9. You're not in a predicament where you're going to get a top pick, or you're not in a predicament where you're going to make the playoffs. So right now, that is the worst possible scenario you could be in. And now I have to start over on the treadmill. So I accidentally hit the red button, but that's fine. Look, like I said, if you go 8-9, miss the playoffs, you're going to be 12 to 15 in draft picks. You're not going to be good enough to pick a top player in this upcoming draft. So I would much rather Washington just go 3-14, get you a top pick, draft you CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, opposed to you going 8-9, and then just being trash. Just being mediocre yet again. Juan, I gotta head out. See you, bro. Okay, Horseman, appreciate you stopping through. I'm on the treadmill getting it in, but I'm mad now. I have to start all over just because I accidentally hit the red button. But again, and I did it again. Oh my God. Let me see. Let's see what you guys are saying. Defense has to be better. Has been better the past 2 weeks. Since the offense Cousins been terrible. Now Alex Charles is upgrade. Tyler Larson's back on all lines should improve. See, there's the thing about the offensive line, man. It's been bad. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not defending this offensive line, but Scott Turner has not done this team and this offensive line any justice by helping them be better. Obviously, they're not the best the best pass protecting group. So what do? You get Carson Wentz out of the pocket. Stop getting him 7-step drops. Giving him 7-step drops is setting him up for failure. Why is the play action so slow? Get him on the run. Get him on the move. Get him outside the pocket. Get the RPO going. Get the quick game going. Get Terry McLaurin the ball. And one thing I saw on Monday Night Football, even though it came back to bite them in the butt, and they lost really much that put this dagger in when they threw the pick six, was Cooper Kupp. Okay, one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in football right now, had 10 targets in the first half. 10 targets in the first half. And we go a whole game without giving Terry McLaurin at least 5. That's so mind-boggling. That is mind-boggling that we can't even get our best receiver, the person we paid $24+ million to, get the ball and at least target him at least 5 times a game. That goes to show you that the coaching staff is the problem. Because, we were talking about it was the quarterback. But look at it. Under Scott Turner's regime, we've been having the same common problem. Get your playmakers the ball. That's something that he's had an issue with doing. Whether it's Carson Wentz, whether it's Taylor Heineke, whether it's God may God rest his soul, Dwayne Haskins, Alex Smith, Kyle Allen, However, we have trouble giving our playmakers the ball, and it shouldn't be that way. So who is the problem in this situation? Scott Turner. Scott Turner's the worst. Question: why would Sam Howell be next up if he doesn't even have even suit up for games? For me personally, and team may feel different. They're probably going to go with Taylor Heineke. But for me personally, if you bench Carson Wentz and you throw Sam Howell out there, you're basically giving up on the season. You're basically saying, okay, we're going to tank. We're going to just see what the young fella has, and that's it for the 2022 season. See y'all 2023. Next up, the reason why I think he'll be next up is because fans don't want to see Taylor Heineke. I love Taylor Heineke to death. I do. The best backup, one of the best backups in football. But we already know what Taylor Heineke is. We know his ceiling. As opposed to you putting Sam Howell out there, letting him get a year of experience and seeing what he has and seeing what he can do. I'm not a fan of that right now. I still want to ride it out with Carson Wentz because it's still early in the season, even though I feel like it's over pretty much. But at least for us making the playoffs, I still want to see what Carson Wentz has to do. I still want to see if Carson Wentz can turn us around. But if you get to week 10, week 11, Washington's pretty much out of the thing, you might as well throw the young fella in there, opposed to Taylor Heineke. Nobody wants to see Taylor Heineke. But, yeah, that's what I feel. But the topic of the day, the question of the day, can the Commanders turn this thing around? In all actuality, they can turn it around. But you will have to do a lot of soul searching. You will have to do a lot of readjustment. Like you said on that 4-game win streak, what did Washington do? They changed their whole identity to run first. You don't have an offensive line that's pass protecting well, you can't run the ball. And you're seeing what we did to Dallas early in the game. And credit to Dallas for making adjustments and something our offensive coordinator didn't do. Dan Quinn made adjustments. He saw that his team was getting gashed in the first half with the run game. So what did he do? He go in the locker room, make adjustments for that, and he kind of somewhat stopped in the second half. But what does our offensive coordinator do? Continue to do the same thing over and over again. Continue to run the ball as if Dallas wasn't going to make adjustments. That's what's so irritating about this guy, because he makes no second half adjustments. You've been killing Dallas on the run all first half. You come on and do it again like they weren't going to expect it. Why not? That's the perfect time to run some play action. Run some misdirection, because the key team with our discipline is. You've been killing them on the ground the whole time. But that's what Scott Turner doesn't get. Scott Turner doesn't think like that. 8-9, which 7 teams are you beating? If Washington was to go to 8-9, I think they would have to beat. They'll beat Tennessee, and they'll beat Chicago. I think we have a good chance to beat Green Bay, but I think we're going to lose there. But I think we have a good chance to beat them. We always play them well at our house. But what's that? What's that? 4 wins right there, or 3 wins right there. So we're 3-3, 3-4, and then we're going to beat Indianapolis. That's 4. Then we're going to beat Texans. That's 5. Then we're going to beat New York at least once. That's 6. Then we're going to beat Philly at least once. I still think we're going to beat Philly at least once. So that's 7. And I'm not going in order. I'm just saying, nothing really beat. And I think we are going to beat Dallas the last game of the season at our house. Even if Dallas doesn't have nothing to play for at that point, they may be playing their backups because they already clinched the playoff berth. But so we're going to beat Dallas once. Who's the other AFC South team? Jacksonville, Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Houston. I think we sweep the NFC South. Or the AFC South, sorry. I think we sweep the AFC South. I'm trying to think who else is on that schedule here. Since this man's at Planet Fitness, LOL, yeah, right, LOL, that's not happening. LMAO. You need to leave Planet Fitness and go check into a mental facility. You aren't beating the Eagles? I think we'll beat the Eagles at once because look, we play your guys November. Right? I think at that time, you guys will come back to earth a little bit. I think y'all gonna lose this week, Alex. I think y'all a really good team, but I think in order for your team to remain successful, I think it's better that y'all lose right now instead of going 10-0 and then losing late in the season, and then you end up like the Steelers. Okay, so I think you get your first loss out the way this weekend to Arizona. I do. I think we're gonna beat you guys at home or in your place on Monday Night Football. I think Carson Wentz is gonna, if he's still playing at that time, okay. If Carson Wentz is still playing at that time, I think he's gonna be much more comfortable. I think the play calling will be different. I think we're gonna be a run first team by that time, and we may go into Philly Monday Night Football, shock the world. The treadmill got you loopy. Nah, man, that's just how I feel. But no, I really do think all jokes aside, I think Philly is going to lose this weekend in a close game. And I think it's better for you guys to get it out the way now, opposed to, again, going 10-0, start smelling yourselves and thinking y'all are unbeatable, and then you lose to a bad team. Like, I don't know, who's the worst team y'all got remaining on your schedule? Probably us. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's better for y'all to lose now than start smelling yourself and then lose week 10. Wentz is not going to do well with all the booze. Let's see here. Any more questions you have for me? Um, Washington, again, bottom of the NFC right now, 1-3, not looking good. I personally think the season's over to the point where we're not going to be able to turn it around and actually make a playoff push. I think Washington's probably going to finish 7-10 again, 8-9, be mediocre, make no progress. And I think at the end of the season, Ron Rivera and his whole staff will be play. Now, are they going to do that? Highly doubt it. But that's what I would do if I was in charge. I said the Texans are worse than y'all. Yeah, so look, okay, even if you say the Texans, it's better. You got to agree that it's better that you guys lose now so you can have that kind of adversity or have that kind of taste in your mouth now when you go 4-1 instead of getting to week 10, week 11, you're 11-0 and start feeling yourself like you're the best team in the world, and then you lose to a team like Texans, and then you start a losing streak like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I'm not comparing to the Steelers like y'all have the same talent. And y'all are more talented than that Steelers team, but I'm just saying what could happen. Texans are better than us right now. That's hard to say. They don't even have a win. They're the way. I believe they have like the worst offense in football right now. I wouldn't say that. Giants, that's overrated, but they are heading in the better direction. Just need to get a QB next year, and they got a lot of cap to work with. I can see the Texans, Falcons, Bears, and one of the Giants. Y'all gonna stop coming from my man Juan? Hey man, I ain't worried about what they saying, man. You feel me? They're in this show. They're Eagles fans in the Washington Commanders show. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about them, bro. Appreciate them for coming through. I personally feel like the only way Washington turns this around is if they start switch up the play calling, do some quick game, like get Wentz out the pocket. Because again, Wentz hasn't been good himself. Let's be real. He hasn't been good. But the team hasn't done a good job of helping. Offensive line is horrible. Play calling is horrible. Everything plays a factor. It's not just Wentz. That's the reason why we're bad right now. It's everybody. I put majority of the blame on Scott Turner and the offensive line. What are your thoughts on when Chase Young might be back, and how long will it take for him to get up to speed? I think Chase Young comes back week 7 or 8. Week 7 or 8. I think that's Indianapolis or Texans. And I think he's not going to get back to speed probably like week 12 or week 13. Maybe. I don't see Chase Young coming out of the gate. I don't see Chase Young coming out of the gate just firing all something. Now, that would be great. I would love that. But I don't see Chase Young doing that. I really don't. But that's my take on Chase Young. And I hope he comes back and he starts killing them because we desperately need Chase Young. Whether you like Chase Young or not, whether you believe that was a good pick at 2 or not. We need him. We're a much better team with Chase Young on the field than without him. We need him desperately for his play on the field and his leadership. We need someone that's going to be able to get in these guys' face and tell them, what are you doing? Fire him up, get him hyped. We need Chase Young. Drop your more questions or comments in the comment section. Your boy's here working out. Because originally I was going to stream and I realized, hey, I'm going to be in the gym at that time. So I might as well just do both. Maybe do this more often. I got to start eating better, man. So I need to figure out a better diet plan for your boy, man. Ain't nothing like, not in bad shape. I'm not fat or anything, but like, I just want to be better for myself. I want to be in better shape. I want to be, stronger. I want to be quicker, more, like, I guess, more toned. But that's where I'm at physically. See what you got to say. You think Terry will get more targets than with Dotson out? I honestly don't even think Dotson being in is the reason why Terry isn't getting as much targets as he should. It's again Scott Turner. Scott Turner is the reason why Terry McLaurin isn't getting targets. He's the right reserves. Well, hell yeah, he's definitely going to get more targets with Dotson been out. Dotson been out, a huge blow because I believe he leads the rookies in touchdowns. I say before. I think he's tied with Stephon Diggs for the most touchdowns by a receiver in the first 4 weeks of the season. So I definitely think he will. But from Terry McLaurin, man, I would like really not regret my decision, but like I would just be like, man, did I really make the right decision here? With the circumstances that we had, did I really make the right decision here? Or should I have played it on my last year of my rookie deal and test free agency next year? But it's too late for that now. Terry's here. So if we don't win Sunday, is our season over? Yeah, it is. We dropped to 1-4. Season's done. Me personally, I think the season is over again for the simple fact of us making a playoff push. I think Washington's going to eventually turn around at some point, and we're going to get hot. They're going to bottle fans back in, and then they're going to drop off like they did the past 2 years. We're going to finish 8, 9, 7, 10 again. But if we lose this Sunday, season's officially done. Yeah. Scott Turner makes the offense look really like he's PV coaching. Yeah, the offense has been anemic because of Scott Turner's play call and just the personnel they put together. But remind you, this is what Ron Rivera did. This is what Ron Rivera put together. Ron Rivera decided to let go of Eric Flowers and replace him with Andrew Norwell. Ron Rivera decided to let go of Brandon Sheriff and replace him with Trey Turner and Andrew Norwell. No? Ron Rivera. So if anyone deserves majority of the blame, it's Ron Rivera. He's what put this team together. Shout out to my guy Alante. What's going on, man? Take him, man. Drop your questions, comments in the comment section. I'm here working out and on live. I might do this more often. Is the connection actually smooth or is it lagging? How is the connection and how is my voice? Because if it's actually good and I look at it on the playback, it's actually good, I might do this more often. You got the MLB postseason getting ready to start up. I see you getting that workout on. Yeah, man. Trying to get in better shape. Feel me? Not in terrible shape, but I know I can get in better shape. It's really just the eating part for me though, man. What I put in my body has been bad. I need to change that. I don't have a problem getting up and working out. It's just the eating part that kills me. You know, the late night snacking and stuff like that. Gotta cut that out. Yeah. Why is Eric Flowers from a free agent? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if it's because he wants a I don't know if it's because he wants a better contract or the team simply just don't want Eric Flowers. I don't know why he's still free agent, but Washington should be picking up the phone. They should have never let go of Eric Flowers. But Washington should be picking up the phone and going to call Eric Flowers' agent. Yeah, Chase Young probably won't be 100% till next year. But at least we got Brian Robinson, Tyler Larson coming back. At least we have them coming back. I'm going to go lift after this, y'all boys. Like lift some weights. But I think I may do the machines. It's weird because he's only 28. Yeah, Flowers, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. It has to be contract issues. It's just hard eating healthy food. It's too expensive. It's way cheaper to eat that. Yeah, it is. And plus, it's all around you too. Like it's a McDonald's everywhere. It's a Chick-fil-A everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's right in your face. And it made it much easier. You know, it's much more expensive. They made it much easier with DoorDash and Uber Eats and all of that. So it's definitely hard, but it takes discipline. And I know I have to find that within myself to get disciplined to do it, you know? But back to some football talk. Washington, 1-3, headed into their matchup versus Tennessee. A very winnable game. Yet another winnable game. All five of our games are winnable games. So that's not really saying much. Dallas, I want to say, who does Dallas have? Who is Dallas playing this week? I feel like I should. I feel like is it not Philly? It's not. No, Philly's playing Arizona. New York's playing Green Bay and London. Who is Dallas playing this week? Rams. Okay. Dallas is playing the Rams. Okay. It's in LA. I'm assuming so. That should be a tough game. Hopefully, you guys lose that one. If Dallas loses 3-2, Washington wins 2-3. Philly, I have them losing their first game, 4-1. I think New York is going to lose in London. Washington with a win could be right back in the thick of things, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to again win, go on a little streak, but I don't know how many more games Philly is going to lose. Dallas is remaining afloat with Cooper Rush. They're getting back to here back shortly. All right. I've been on for 40 minutes. enough of the treadmill. Let's see. I may get back on the treadmill one before I leave, but time to go lift. Keep it up, champ. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Really do. Sit down for a second here. But yeah, Washington, again, Commanders 1-3 on the season. Have a chance to turn it around. Um, starting with this game versus Tennessee this weekend. He should have kept Kevin O'Connell when he first came OC. Yeah, yeah. I personally, I think so. I was the one. I was saying this back in 2020 when we first hired Ron Rivera. I said I think Kevin O'Connell should be the head coach because he was literally the only guy that got. Again, they got arrested Dwayne Haskins' soul. He was the only guy that got Dwayne Haskins to play somewhat good. And look what he's doing in Minnesota. Minnesota hasn't been the best, but look at the offense. Obviously, without Kirk Cousins, I think that offense would be in a much better state. But let's look at their weapons. Look at the play design. He's been really good. Um, but yeah, y'all boys, man. I personally think the way Washington could turn around the season, we got to go to a run first team. Again, Wentz hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been good, and the offensive line around him hasn't been good. Play calling has been terrible. Scott Turner's been the worst. So I think it's better that we go to a run first team because they already shown that they don't got confidence in them. I mean, literally on 3rd and 3, you run the ball. Really, when Dallas is stacking the box and they're expecting to run, and then 2 minutes left in the half, or it was a minute 6 seconds left, you got 2 timeouts and left in the half, and you don't even attempt to go get at least a field goal. You just run the ball, milk the clock all the way down to 30 seconds, and then you then you just go into halftime like that. Wentz is missing too much. Yeah, well, again, Wentz hasn't been perfect. He's been missing a lot of passes. Overthrowing Terry, underthrowing Terry. You know, he hasn't been good. But again, nothing around him has been good. Offensive line hasn't been good. Play calling hasn't been good. Everybody's at fault. But you know who's at the top of that food chain? It's Ron Rivera because Ron Rivera is the person that put this team together. Yeah. Shout out to everyone in here though. Drop your questions, comments before we get out of here. I just want to come on here again because I knew I scheduled the stream for 8 o'clock, and then I was like, man, I know I'm gonna be at the gym at that time, so let me just go on live and get on the treadmill at the same time. I think I'm gonna double back on the treadmill before I leave, but I'm just trying to go lift now. Brian Robinson will be the one that changes this whole offense. Plus, he will help us win games. Hopefully. Hopefully, I don't know if he is the one that's going to change this whole offense. Brian Robinson is definitely going to add a lot to this offense in the running game, maybe the passing game too. But I talked about Brian Robinson earlier in the stream. I said I personally think it's better that we leave him out until Week 6 versus Chicago, just because it's a short turnaround. You got Tennessee this week at home, Week 5, and then you got to play Chicago on the road Thursday night football. So I think it's better if we probably wait until Week 6 to play him. But I'm hoping Brian Robinson could definitely bring a spark to his offense. Antonio Gibson hasn't been bad, but with Brian Robinson being back, that now allows the team to use Antonio Gibson to where they really want to use him, and that's as a weapon in the backfield, in the slot, you know, out wide. You know, just facts. When Ron first got here, he said he was going to do everything his way. Now that he has the time to hold him accountable, yeah, yeah, for sure. Ron Rivera, again, he said it. And like you just said, in his first press conference here and his introductory press conference here, back when we were called the R words. He said, "All I ask is we do it our way, and if you're successful, the success is all yours. But if you fail, it's on me." And we're failing right now. Players have been doing it their way, and it's on him. It's on him. So I say by week 10, not week 10. If we lose this game and we're 1-4 in the season, I really think it's time to consider firing Ron Rivera. But I don't think Dan Snyder's going to do that for the simple fact that Dan Snyder is trying to hire a respectable coach in this league. Because believe it or not, whether you want to say if Ron Rivera is good or not, he is a respectable coach in this league. He's a guy that's respected around this league. He's a guy that's won stuff in this league. He's a two-time AP Coach of the Year. Um, so again, Daniel Snyder isn't going to do that because he wants to keep his reputation. He's trying to build his reputation back up, even though you can't build that back up. That's why I don't think he's going to build. But if it was up to me, if I was the owner of the Washington Commanders, I would fire Ron Rivera. If we go 1-6, I would fire him. Ron didn't get the best coordinators. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't. And I'm I'm not the biggest fan of Jack Del Rio now. I think he's been underwhelming. But if you're gonna go with Jack, okay, and then have a better offensive coordinator, I'll be fine with it. But the fact that you and the defense has been getting better over time, but since you're gonna hire, if you're gonna have a bad defense and a bad offense, that's not really good. O line is the most important part of the team. Fix the problems to solve. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the problems are 100% solved if we get the offensive line fixed, but majority of the problems will probably be solved. Not majority, but some of it. Because again, look, blame is on everyone on the offense. It's not just the O line. Is it most of the O line? Wouldn't be mad at you if you said it was. But it's the O line. It's Carson Wentz being scared. It's Carson Wentz overthinking. It's Carson Wentz missing easy targets. And then it's also um the play calling. The play calling has been horrible. Scott Turner's play calling is suspect to me. Yeah, it is. He's horrible, man. I really want to see him go, but we just extended him too, and that doesn't mean we can't get rid of him. But it's like you extended this guy before he even proved what he can do, and this is coming from a guy that gave Scott Turner the benefit of the doubt every single year. The teaching issue. That's what I tried to say. Look, this is what I try to say. Not even just that it's a teaching issue, but this is my perfect example that I use. What's our biggest issue that we've been saying, or at least one of the biggest issues we've been saying? We've been saying Scott Turner has been failing to get his playmakers the ball. And at first, people were blaming it on the quarterback. But look at it. You got Carson Wentz, who was supposed to be a super upgrade over anything we've had in the past since Kirk Cousins. They're still failing to get your top playmakers the ball. Then you go from him to Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke really, and shout out to Taylor Heineke honestly, because he was the only one that really was trying to force Terry the ball. But even still, he wasn't giving Terry the ball a lot. Then you go from him to Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't come because he got out the first half. You go from Taylor Heineke to Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins really didn't give him the ball much. Alex Smith, Kyle Allen, you name it. And this is all under Scott Turner. All under Scott Turner. Right? So what is the same common factor that I have said out of all those quarterbacks? And the issue as to why they're not giving their playmakers the ball. Scott Turner is the offensive coordinator. That really, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that recently opened my mind up. That opened my mind up probably the Sunday game versus Dallas. I realized that last Sunday. I'm like, we got all these different quarterbacks, and none of them are giving Terry McLaurin the ball. That's on Scott Turner. I don't even think Terry McLaurin is Scott Turner's number one option in his playbook. If I'm an offensive coordinator and I have a Terry McLaurin on my team, Terry McLaurin is my number one option every single play. Every single play. Scott Turner will have a 2nd and 1 and then do an end around and lose 7 yards, knowing the O line struggles with pass protection for long periods of time. Yeah. And then he'll run it on a 3rd and 5 and then punt on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. Right? Scott Turner's the worst. And I'm also putting it on Ron too, because one, he eyed him, and two, he allows this stuff to happen. If I'm a head coach and I see my offensive coordinator struggling or continue to do something that I don't like, I want to say something. Terry is our Pierre Garcon. Terry is better than Pierre Garcon, better than our Pierre Garcon. Pierre Garcon, when we got Pierre Garcon, he was still really good, still 1,000-yard receiver, but he was an older Pierre Garcon. Cedric Wilson's still young. He's barely in his prime, and and we don't even use him like he's a number one receiver. I guarantee you, Terry was in Minnesota, Green Bay, um, San Francisco. Uh, let's see, what's some other teams? Tampa Bay, even. Um, Kansas City. Um, what else? I would even say Denver. I would even say Oakland. Not Oakland, Las Vegas. Seems like I got Devontae Adams. All these teams would give Terry McLaurin the ball, would make him the number one option. But we treat him like he's just a regular Joe Schmo. That's why this team hasn't been successful. Buffalo. Buffalo's another team. Even when they got SD, that goes to their offensive coordinators. Our offensive coordinators are among the worst. That's not the worst. I even think Chicago would use Terry better than what we use him. Scott call plays, or play calls take too long to develop. Yeah, no respect for Terry. Yeah. He paid this guy $24 million, but use him like he's a 5th-round draft pick that hasn't proven himself yet. Trying to get to an hour, and I'm going to get back to my gym session, but I just got off the treadmill, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm going to get back on, like, towards the end of my workout. I think it's time for another shape-up now. Our coordinators are hooked on schemes. Yeah. Our coordinators are old. Well, Ron Rivera is old and Jack Rizzo. But our coordinators are hooked on making the players fit into their scheme and sort of building their scheme around the players' strong suits. When Cole coming back, I don't even know, bro. At this point, I don't even know when they're gonna activate Cole Turner, bro. I almost forgot about him. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, bro, because what's wrong with him? Like, I understand what is he dealing with, a hamstring or something like that? They said he was better, and now I guess they were trying to get him back up to speed. I don't even know. I was so excited for Cole Turner, man. I really was. I was super excited for Cole Turner. But I appreciate you guys for coming through the stream, man. Again, I may do this more often. Has the quality been good? Has it been lagging any at all? I definitely may do this more often. Because again, my schedule got conflicted. I knew I set the schedule, set the stream, but I've been going to the gym. And I was like, why not just go live at the gym while you're on the treadmill? Talk to the fellas, talk to the ladies out there if you're any out there watching the stream and a fan of this team. You know, to get back on the treadmill probably after I do go lift and stuff like that. But the boy's trying to get in better shape, not in bad shape. As you can see, I'm not fat or anything or obese, but I want to look better for myself. I know I can look better than this, and it all comes down to eating. It all comes down to eating. I don't have a problem with working out, but eating is my biggest issue. Only if Scott Turner can call the game the way it needs to be called, plus get JD McKissick some packages too. That's true too. Can we please get rid of William Jackson? I haven't even touched on single player performances this stream, honestly, but William Jackson has been amongst the worst. Him and Kendall Fuller has been terrible, man. Again, Kendall Fuller for him, it just seems like he's lost a step. He's older. He's not the same Kendall Fuller. He's not really quick anymore. It's probably time to move him to free safety. And fans like my man Jairus, has been calling for Kendall Fuller to be at safety before the season even started. William Jackson, I think it's a mix of him losing has lost confidence in himself and the wrong scheme. We go out and get a man corner. Know we want to run his own scheme, and that's just a bad mix. You know, quality is great. Okay, love to hear that. So I may do this more often. But we go out and get William Jackson, who's a man corner, put him in his own scheme, and you really thought that was going to be successful. No. Then he's lost confidence and stuff. Kendall Fuller, slow, not good anymore. He's horrible. Benjamin St. Just has been the only good cornerback we've had, really, this year. But, yeah, man, trying to hit that hour mark before I get off. But that's Ron's positional flex. Yeah. Washington is sitting at 1-3 on the season. Make sure you guys go check out the video that I posted today on Sir Ron Rivera on the hot seat on Silly Bench Consequence if you haven't checked that out already. More great quality content is on the way. I'm on the road to 5,000 subscribers, trying to get there soon, man. The ultimate goal is to reach 10,000 at some point. And I know we can get there, but it takes a lot of ground. It takes a lot of support, and I have no doubt that we can get there at some point, man. But I was trying to reach the hour mark, but I think I may get off 3 minutes earlier. Or maybe I can take it for 3 minutes if you guys got any more questions. The boys gonna get back to his workout here soon. I'm gonna hit the treadmill again towards the end of my workout, maybe for like 10 more minutes, and probably just go all out, just run, because I really just feel it. But so if we get our wishes and Ron gets fired, any favorite for head coaches? What about Dan Quinn? Ron Rivera gets fired. Okay, me personally, I would want a offensive minded head coach. I wouldn't want yet another defensive minded head coach. Just because Dan Quinn, he's a really good defensive coordinator, but he's already had his stint as a head coach in this league. And I mean, yeah, you can make some different changes the second time around, of course, but I don't know if I personally would sign up for that. I want a young offensive minded head coach, man. I really do. I don't want an old school Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio s kind of coaches because the league is changing, man. It's going to 30-year-old, 40-year-old head coaches, man. I want that. I want a creative genius as our head coach, man. I want to put up 30 a game. I want to put up, you know, um, league record numbers on offense. How got some experience. Do you think Ron wants to win a Super Bowl? I think he does. I don't question that. I don't think no team goes into the season not wanting to win a Super Bowl. Because at the end of the day, these guys get paid millions of dollars to perform. And I understand. I know we frustrate them, but I think this is what they love to do. I don't think Ron Rivera doesn't want to win a Super Bowl. Has he put himself in the best position to compete for one? No, but I definitely think he does. When the draft comes back around, we need to hit the offensive line. Best offensive line available. We need to get him. We need an offensive line in the first round, probably. We need a cornerback. I would say cornerback probably first. You know, offensive line. Secondly, um, probably double down on the offensive line. To be honest with you, probably some edge rushing depth, safeties. We need a lot. We need a lot, but yeah, man, it's been boy one guy. I just want to stand here for an hour while your boy was at the gym again. I was like, I knew I had set this stream for tonight, but I was like, I know I'm gonna be at the gym. Might as well get on the treadmill, talk to you guys for a couple minutes. Get on here, chop it up about the team. I may do this more often. So let me know if you like this. But yeah, man, it's been boy one guy. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe if you're new. turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL. One is against our Washington Commanders. Washington has a huge game versus Tennessee Titans this weekend, this Sunday, and your boys going to be streaming it. Make sure you guys check that out. But a lot of more quality content to come on the channel this week and for the foreseeable future and the future. Your boys on the road to 5,000 subscribers. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. I hope that you guys enjoy this and find this content amazing. And you can subscribe and share it out to more Washington and NFL fans out there. But as always, again, we're one guy. Like, comment, subscribe, also watch the Commanders. I'm going to get back to my workout. See you guys when I see you guys. Peace.
Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped, get you dropped.